Welcome back this week to Naming in an AI Age. And we're going to talk about, what is your name worth? Have you ever thought about that question? Whether it's your personal brand or your company product brand, or maybe in your organization's name. So when you think about how do you evaluate that and why that's even important, I want to throw a couple names out for you just to think about. Omgo and Healthcrafter. Which one's the best name? Now you may say Omgo could be anything, don't know what that is. Or Healthcrafter, well, that sort of sounds interesting. I have some idea what that is. Healthcrafter is obviously the better name. What if I told you we own the .com for both of those? And by just the fact that we own the .com of Omgo, a lot of the evaluation services feel that's worth 100 times, more than 100 times more than Healthcrafter. Why? Because it's shorter, it's just 4 letters, OMGO. It's easy to say and spell. It works in multiple languages around the world. No one's going to mistype it. It's perhaps more memorable. Healthcrafter is longer. Granted, it's more obvious what it means, but it doesn't necessarily have the same flexibility and versatility. But I don't think that's the most important criteria, do you? The most important criteria might be, well, what are you going to use it for? And then what do you wrap around it? Have you done some of the other screening when it comes to, does it test well in the marketplace? Is it legally available? How about the linguistics? So let's talk about Omgo. Let's pretend it was for a mental health app, a wellness app. And you think about, well, why is that a big deal? Well, it's a bigger deal now than perhaps it ever has been for a lot of reasons that we see in the media every day, that people are wrapped up in social media. The mental health is suffering, especially for our kids. Omgo might be a great name for that. So what's the story you can wrap around Omgo? Well, the OM is in as in meditation, as in yoga, as in relaxation, as in mindfulness. The go is in active living, right? On the go, getting out there and living an active, healthy lifestyle. It's sort of like a Google name, right? You don't know exactly what an Omgo is, just like you didn't know exactly what a Google was. But when you think about it, when you hear a little bit of the explanation story, the name is sticky. It certainly is short, easy to say, easy to spell. And when you put a logo, and I have up on the screen right now, just a quick logo that we came up with for Omgo with the 5 leaves, it sort of takes it to nature. You can get out into Mother Nature and you can sort of get a sense this is about mental health and relaxation and mindfulness and wellness and all that sort of thing. Or those 5 leaves could be the 5 fingers of your hand reaching out for more resources, right? Saying hi to somebody. Hey, welcome. I want to come talk to you, right? You can also personify Omgo. This is going to be a big deal, we think, with AI in particular. There's a lot of research now, a lot of thinking now that if your child's under 5 years old, their most important friend is going to be an AI chatbot. That chatbot's going to know more about them than you do as their parent, or you do as their brother and sister. Just think about that. Because they're interacting with it, they're talking to it, it sees them, it can assess the visual presentation, what's stressing them out, how they're doing, whether they're smiling or not. And it's going to ask them questions. They're going to talk to it about anything they want to. It's going to be a really big deal, and it's going to have all kinds of knowledge of your child or your customer that perhaps you don't do. And so this is something that we think when it comes to personification is a real high potential, real new use for names and names that fit that. Also, Omgo, if you're targeting a younger audience, has OMG embedded in it, as in, oh my gosh, is this cool or what? Look at what this app can do for me. Oh my gosh, right? So you can go down that sort of crazy zany route a little bit more. But you're going to say, I don't have any budget to build it, right? Omgo for me isn't going to work because I have no money at all in which I can invest in the name. It's not going to work. Oh my gosh. Maybe Healthcrafter is a better name for you, right? Because Healthcrafter does hit the ground running. This idea that you can craft a persona, you can curate all the data and knowledge that's out there and provide exactly the kind of therapy, exactly the kind of tools that you need for improved wellness and active living and a better life and better health in general. So now Healthcrafter, a name that might hit the ground running a little bit quicker than Omgo, might look a little bit better for you. Will it be a strong brand down the road? Probably not. Health is used an awful lot in healthcare space. Craft isn't, but certainly personalization is. So this is the typical trade-off. And when you think about, well, how much is the name worth? Part of it is how much are you willing to invest in the name, right? And Omgo certainly has much more brand building potential, arguably, and a much wider runway that you could build new products and services around. If you want to get into other kinds of things, Omgo can take you just about anywhere, right? It could be a brand on apparel, for physical fitness workouts, whatever it might be. It could be supplements. It could be new therapies, new services. Who knows, right? So it has a much broader runway. Healthcrafter could still work well in the health space, but it's probably limited to the health space. But health is not as distinctive. Healthcrafter will sound more similar to probably a lot of other health this and that's names than an Omgo, which is pretty distinct and pretty different. So when you think about what's that name worth to me, think about that logo that you wrap around it, that tagline that you wrap around it. Healthcrafter, a tailored approach for your wellness, a tailored approach for personal wellness. The right tagline can really make the name come alive. The logo can even add more value to it. The fact that it's legally available, the fact that linguistically seems to work in different languages, it doesn't have any off-color meanings. You start to wrap all this stuff around a name, and a name like Omgo that maybe falls flat, all of a sudden comes alive. And even a name like Healthcrafter starts to really, oh my gosh, that's got tremendous potential and doesn't require as much of an investment. Hope this helps. We'll be talking to you again next week. See ya.